Thank you for joining me. This video is basically about Venus through signs, but I'm going to really focus on Mooltrikonas because I've realised I was doing this papers for my Patreon page, and I was thinking I have never really touched on Mooltrikona signs and what do they actually mean. So Mooltrikona signs are, out of the 7 planets, excluding the nodes in Vedic Astrology, every planet has got, obviously the luminaries only own one's house, so Moon only owns Cancer, Sun only owns Leo, but the other planets, each of them have got two signs that they rule, and one is normally a male sign and the other one is a female sign. So basically the male sign of the planets, apart from Mercury and Moon, the male sign is normally the Mooltrikona sign, which means the root, or where the energy of the planet is. And obviously planets have got all different kinds of conditions. So planets can be exalted, which means that they can perform and give very strong fruits, as long as obviously all of this is dependent if they're not actually afflicted in any way. And then Mooltrikona will be the next strong placement for any planet. And then it will be own house, great friend, friendly sign, or obviously it would be neutral, and then it could be an enemy or great enemy, depending on temporal friendships, and also debilitated, which will be the weakest condition for any planet. Now Mooltrikona means that obviously it's a root trine. It just means that this is where the planet, so if they own, like for example, if Saturn owns Capricorn is own house, whereas Aquarius is a Mooltrikona sign, and these are always at a particular degree as well. So for example, Sun is obviously exalted in Aries, it's debilitated in Libra, both of them at 10 degrees. But actually the head office, or the Mooltrikona for Leo is the Mooltrikona for the Sun at 0 to 20 degrees. And then after that is own sign. And then Moon is exalted at 3 degrees Taurus, debilitated at 3 degrees Scorpio, and between 3 to 27 degrees of Taurus is actually Mooltrikona sign. Now, this is one of the only exceptions, this one and Mercury, where they have got female signs as their Mooltrikona signs. And then Mercury is obviously debilitated at 15 degrees of Pisces, exalted at 15 degrees of Virgo, but actually between 15 and 20 degrees of Virgo, that is this Mooltrikona. So it does work really, really well. And then we have Mars. Mars is obviously exalted at 28 degrees Capricorn, 28 degrees Cancer is its debilitation sign. And then 0 to 12 degrees of Aries will be its Mooltrikona's sign. And then Jupiter will be 5 degrees of Cancer, exalted, 5 degrees of Capricorn, debilitated, and it's 0 to 10 degrees of Sagittarius will be its Mooltrikona sign. And then Venus will be Pisces, 27 degrees exalted, 27 degrees of Virgo will be when it's debilitated, and actually 0 to 15 degrees of Libra will be its Mooltrikona sign. And Saturn will be obviously 20 degrees of Libra exalted, 20 degrees of Aries will be debilitated, and 0 to 20 degrees of Aquarius will be its Mooltrikona sign. So you can see that these, they all have these Mooltrikona degrees, and that makes any yogas to do with those planets really, really strong. And if at any point, obviously that's the Vargotama degree as well, it makes the planet work really, really well. And obviously you want to check all of these with the D9, make sure that you see what's going on in the D9 as well. But what I'm going to show you today is just a slightly different way of looking at things. So I also want you to, whilst I'm doing this, to remember that where every placement is, you've got to really look into it. You mustn't just think that, oh, it's just one placement. Everything means so many more things. There are all different layers to it, so you want to make sure you take all of those things in consideration with every planet, actually, because although I'm going to do Venus today, and I might have to come back to it and do one for every sign, because it's a big subject. But basically, also, we all have chakras as well. So Venus also rules the heart chakra. And it's also, obviously, it's about receptivity, giving and receiving in equal measures because of Libra. Libra being sign of balance, it's always looking at that, looking to, sort of build relationships that they gain as much as they give. So they don't want to be in a relationship, that a really healthy Venus will not want to be in a relationship which is just one way. So, and obviously, in the natural zodiac, Venus rules 7th and 2nd house. So 2nd house is self-worth and resources and choices, and 7th house Libra, which is all to do with interaction with the world, other people, harmony with others. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to do Venus in Sagittarius by using the Mooltrikona sign of Venus, which is Libra. So in the first video I mentioned that basically I talked about how Mooltrikonas are. Normally Mooltrikona sign for planets, the 5 planets are 5 planets and the 2 luminaries are normally in a male sign, but obviously that's different for Mercury and the Moon. So the Mooltrikona sign for Venus is Libra. That's where it gets all of its source energy. And the house that it owns is Taurus, which is 8 houses away from it. So in relation to how one looks for relationships and expresses oneself can be seen from where Venus is placed from the Mooltrikona sign, and then how many signs that Venus is away then from Taurus is how they will go about finding it. This is Mooltrikona signs are really, really interesting because you can learn so much about them. So when Venus is in the 3rd house from Libra, in Sagittarius, it's 3 houses away from Libra, the Mooltrikona sign. So this means that these people will be looking for a partner that they can actually share activities with, because it's a 3rd house connotation. So they want to be active with the partner. They want to socialize with friends and groups of friends. They want to have things in common, so whether it's dancing or activities such as running, things like that. They would love that. They like to be active together, doing things. And also, obviously, Sagittarius is a sign of religion and beliefs and your truth. So it is likely that they would also have been studious together, or university or something together, because it's the natural 9th house of the zodiac. And they also want to learn together as well as a couple and grow together that way. And it would not surprise me. I mean, I know a few of my clients and friends who actually got Venus in Sagittarius, and religion is very important. Their beliefs are so important to them, and they want to share that with their partner, which is really lovely. And you will find that they either walk to the church or whatever belief system go to. They both attend ceremonies, religious ceremonies either together. And I know sometimes, obviously, some religions they go into segregation, they go to different parts, but they do both kind of share that vision together, which is really lovely. And
yeah, so there is a focus there, obviously, because Sagittarius is focus, and also it's the sign that is Mooltrikona of Jupiter as well. So it's that it's there are a lot of sort of principles that have got to be right in the relationship between the partners as well. The difference being here now is from Sagittarius to Taurus. We have 6 houses, so often these people are competitive with each other. So if they go and run together, they are trying to beat each other. They're trying to, or even if they're playing chess or cards or anything, they can be a little bit competitive with each other, which is fantastic, isn't it? So they can have quarrels. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily split up because of it. It can give that as well, because 6th house has got connotations of divorce and discord as well. But there is a competitiveness there. But they also want to be active in order to be healthy. So the 3rd house and the 6th house, and the 3rd house of activity and healing the body as well. So there are those sort of connotations. All kind of very much depends on each individual's chart, really, and how Venus is. So this will have these sort of connotations in it as well. So you could just see that. They could also got to be careful not to get into debt, because Venus is then 6 houses away from Taurus as well. So these are some of the things that you could look into as well. It's just amazing how the chart just reveals so much. It's incredible. So this is Venus in Sagittarius from the Mooltrikona sign. That's how I would read it. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you for watching.